Woo! Woo. Live from the trap. Weird noises we starting today, but live from the trap. Sorry, no. This is Who Asked Deviant Dave. What episode is this? 4? Nice. Trying to stay consistent. Come on, people. Gotta give me my props. Trying to stay consistent. But this is Who Asked Deviant Dave. Brought to you by the host, Deviant Dave. That is I. Deviant being what's deviant again? Like abnormally defiant, weird in a way too on top of that. But let's get started. Oh no, you can see me now. All right. So how's it going, people? Hope everybody's having a good day. Me, what's getting me nowadays? Let me bring it up. The CDC. You guys know that, Center of Disease Control. I know this isn't like latest news, but I've been seeing it in stores, presumably gas stations. You know, I'm a young guy. I pick up the essentials at gas stations. Some juice, swishes here and there, and everything like that. But you didn't hear that from me. Anyway, CDC has what they basically say. They said that. Let me get my facts right. They said that if you get the vaccine, not all establishments, man, I can't talk today, but anywhere that is okay if you got the vaccine. I mean, you don't even have to get okay. You got the vaccine, you can go into any store without your mask. Right? Which is okay for the impatient people that think that this COVID thing is gonna go over overnight, or they just desperately want it to go away, wish it away, or whatever. I think that the vaccine makes you of a certain status. And I'm one to tell you that, I mean, even if you do have the vaccine, you still can carry COVID and you can still pass it on to somebody else. Just saying. I've seen these people walking around like they have the ultimate scarlet letter on their chest or some shit like that. Like a badge of honor, chest out and shit without their mask. And I'm like I said, viruses or just microorganisms in general, can be carried through your hair. They can be carried on your skin, on your clothes. Then, if you're not wearing a mask and you're breathing all over the place, microbes tend to be in the air. They get skyborne. And then, let's just say, I want to have a very unnecessary conversation with someone, and I just start breathing, but I'm supposedly good because I have the vaccine and those microbes are in the air. I can pass on to somebody else. Maybe they didn't have the vaccine. Maybe they have a low immune system. Even though some people may think the vaccine is actually killing immune systems. You didn't hear that from me. But I'm just saying, even if you are vaccinated, for people that may not be, or maybe for children, because kids matter. Even though we act like in society they're full-grown adults by the time they're 5. But anyway, if you want to help, just I don't get people that don't want to just kind of just go with the program. I mean, for some people, we have to go through programs most of our whole lives, Black people. But anyway, with that said and done, some of us are used to going with the program, and I'm noticing a lot of people are not used to the program. Really over the whole night and day with people's attitudes as far as being understanding and sympathetic about stuff. Is like people say it but don't really go through it, and it shows when it goes against them. Like in this case, a lot of people can't wear a mask for various reasons for the most part, and I can tell the ones that do have the problem for breathing issues. Hey, that's cool. Okay, I have skinny man issues. I'm not good in winter. You don't see me going outside giving everybody all kinds of shit, even though summertime when everybody be sweating and I be cooling, I do kind of make a few laughs. But anyway, the point being is that get real, get over yourselves, and be about something bigger than yourself. Is exerting your claim as far as your rights Showing your strength and your rights more important than the lives of others, apparently. I mean, you got states like was it Hawaii claiming that was it like 50% of their population is technically vaccinated, which is cool. Good for you, but my thing is this: it doesn't absolve the fact that COVID is still not running rampant, and it doesn't mean, especially from a statistic standpoint, because man, statistics are very, what's the word, very exaggerated, especially with that term fake news people and shit like that. My thing is, for those people, if you don't believe the news, why are you believing the statistics that the news is giving you? I don't understand that. But my point being, they think that 50% is good. We went by the program, the rules, and shit, in less than a year, people can run outside and play outside games with their families again. I'm pretty sure the CDC said that the COVID strain can mutate. If you guys don't understand when it comes to microbes, just to add, I am a bio nerd on the side. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I know the basics. When it comes to microbes, cells, bacteria, viruses, and things like that, even though they may be small, their worlds move pretty quick compared to ours. Meaning that when they mutate, they're dividing at such a rapid rate that they're eventually going to have that one little baby in there that's going to be immune to whatever shit that we have out there, and then that's the one that's going to multiply while the others die out at an alarming division reproductive rate per second. And I'm talking about millions of microbes. So if people would gravitate their brains around that concept, that's it. But I think the ones out there that's so into this don't even wash their hands. You nasty motherfuckers. Save the kids, save anybody. Speaking of COVID, what's the name? Lauren Boeberts? Oh yeah, let me get this right. This is Tejas, Texas. Check it out. Beautiful state, isn't it? I like Texas people. They some real people, and they're about their guns, which I respect too. Try taking a gun from a Texas person. Good luck. Anyway, let me bring it up. Give me 1 second. So, in this article, Lauren Boeberts. Oh, I got her name right. I'm not really good. Pronunciation. Okay. So it says Lauren Boebert stated that there hadn't been, who wrote this? Lauren Boebert stated that there hadn't been a single COVID-19 death in Texas since mass restrictions ended in March. This is May 1st that I'm doing this. Data shows thousands had in fact died. Who to guess? Anywho, I give you the gist of it. It says, Rep. Lauren Boebert of Colorado falsely claimed that Texas hasn't recorded a single COVID-19 death since it lifted mass restrictions 2 months ago. This is Business Insider. Speaking to right-wing commentator Gina Loudon, I'm sorry, on Dr. Gina Primetime on Wednesday, Boebert ridiculed the House Chamber's mask mandate and says she enjoys telling Speaker Nancy Pelosi to kiss my mask. Okay. Let's go. Texas removed their mask mandate 2 months ago, and Sleepy Joe called it Neanderthal thinking. She continued, "No, sir. Republicans just followed the science, and since removing the mask mandate 2 months ago, Texas has not reported a single COVID death, not one." Ah, man, putting dummies in fucking leading positions. This chick, look into her little beady eyes. Look at that. I don't think there's really a whole lot of thought or constructive criticism or self-reflection going on into that skull right now. But okay. Boebert represents Colorado's 3rd congressional district and ran her 2020 campaign on a pro-gun platform. She owns a restaurant in the state called Shooter's Grill, where the staff is encouraged to openly carry firearms. Oh shit. I'm cool with her on guns. Where should I begin? Take a look at her beady little eyes. Trying to give her that I'm a strong influencer shot. Anyway, leave that up there for a sec. So, where can I go? I'm trying to take more directions to. I'm not trying to be neutral. My objective is to just like I see stuff like this all the time. I'm wondering what be going in people's brains when they say these things. Do they proofread, double check what they say? And when I tell people these things that I see, I mean, they just look like it's weird or like I'm just speaking out of my ass or some shit like that. But am I the only one that's looking at these articles and this shit? And I'm like, nobody's really alarmed by some of this shit. Anyway, so with her, look, I get people want COVID gone, wishing it away, just going to sleep one night and just magically thinking it's going to disappear 1 minute. That's not how it works. Again, just like what I was talking about with the CDC not too long ago, stuff doesn't go away overnight. And considering that a lot of people like to talk shit about humans, because I don't get is like you're human, but I don't like those people that talk about humans are bad. And I mean, we're naturally misguided, but I don't think we're just really just fucked up at heart like that in our souls. We're easily influenced by the wrong people. That's a whole different story. But my point being is that what was I getting at? This stuff isn't going to go away overnight. As humans, we're nasty. I mean, I think a lot of this problem, if not a lot of disease problem, is due to historical uncleanliness. So, since people like to knock history away because they think it's so irrelevant or mean or brings up stuff that people don't want to talk about, history, when we read it, we're supposed to learn from it, that we don't repeat it, but we keep doing it. Will tell you that in the past, especially in them good old days when they used to throw shit in the middle of the streets, stuff like that, leaving dead bodies and things like that around and shit, that spreads diseases and stuff. Basically, without cleaning up, keeping a good sanitized environment occasionally, yeah, that shit is not gonna go away. Just think about that. On a negative standpoint with this, which I'm gonna go in, man, denial is a motherfucker. She's another influencer, I guess if you want to call her that. I mean, she's able to make headlines. That I clearly see that she wants this gone overnight. Usually that stems from fear, and what you gotta be afraid of. I mean, for the people that ain't afraid of death, like literally not afraid, because we see life as it is, and you can be here 1 minute, next gone. I see a person that's afraid of death and more importantly just being out of their comfort zone. And for people like me that's been out of our comfort zone for practically most of our lives, not up, baby. Okay, it's not going to take long. You saying it is not going to make it gone. Lying about the statistics isn't going to help. And just like this article just clearly made you look, be stupid in front of your following. But then again, I'm not going to shit on people's following, but damn, they're probably going to stand with her. You get the drift, right? She, why? That's all I gotta say. Why? Why do these things? Okay, why you put all these random people, because all of a sudden they fit an image and you want to put them in front, but have nothing going on with this muscle upstairs. Ridiculo. I think most of my topics right now is going to be some new stuff. Like I said, I mean, I'll talk about some trendy stuff. Why not? But let's move on. Let's talk about this this wild wild west out here. Should I say wild wild east? Iraq. It's a nice little map of Iraq for you. So Iraq claims that $150 billion was stolen since the US started making a long extended vacation out there back in 03. Okay. And my response to that is I'm not surprised. I mean, what was a big rumor back in 03? How old was I in 03? I had to be about in middle school, maybe a little younger. I'm old, guys. Don't worry about it. But trying to pull this up. Our big rumor back then that we talked a lot of. I'm pulling up. All right. So, sorry, I'm ranting. When I was coming up, the big thing was that oil was the rumor thing that the U.S. went in there. Okay, I'm American. I'd admit that. Anybody with eyes know that we were over there and we were trying to get some oil. Let me read this. An estimated 150 billion of stolen money has been smuggled out of Iraq in corrupt deals since the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq in 2003. Iraq president, I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher this, and I know Middle Eastern people hate when you butcher their names. Barham Salih said Sunday of the close to $1,000 billion made. Does that even make sense? Of the close to $1,000 billion. Like, this is a CNN article, by the way. Okay, of the close to $1,000 billion made from oil since 2003, an estimated 150 billion of stolen money has been smuggled out of Iraq. Salih said in a televised speech. Oh, basically, the president was just like, "Hey, man, we got our bearings and things, but we were looking in the books. We did the math because we got people out here to do math too, Mister U.S. And we've come to the conclusion that quite a few dollars has been stolen." Says also the draft law seeks to strengthen the powers of Iraqi nation in order to recover money stolen in corrupt deals, to hold corrupt people accountable and bring them to justice. What else does this guy say? He urged Iraqi lawmakers to discuss and approve the proposed legislations to help curb this dangerous scourge that has deprived our people of enjoying the wealth of their country for many years. Salih said the stolen money would be enough to significantly improve Iraqi's finances. Sorry, guys, I'm laughing because I have a cat buddy roaming around here and he keeps nudging me. But yeah. Take this off. All these ads on stuff make my website. I don't make it this annoying. There we go. I like it like that. All right, so let's just be nice. I mean, when America came over there, we were claiming to help, right? Terrorists, fight on terror, the war on terror, trying to respond to the 9/11, which was 01. Hope I got that right. Be talking about other people, and then I don't have my numbers quite correct. But yeah, so when 9/11 happened, for all the young people that may not remember or probably wasn't even born yet watching this, 9/11 happened. Basically, it was like, man, that was devastating. We're gonna go fuck them up. So we went overseas to Iraq, started fucking them up. But one big rumor was that, like I said, the speculation, what I've heard, that was kind of obvious. They was rumored, or us, US, however you want to see it, was rumored to take a lot of oil. And that was one of the real big things that we went over there, was trying to have a reason to invade and get the oil and whatever other expenses and shit. And this article is supposed to reflect on that. And they said since 2003, we probably were in that country a couple years earlier. You know what I mean? Still taking their money. But that's what he has recorded since then. He says 150 billion. Shoot. When you think about it, it's like, damn, that's really high. But then when you talk about oil, talk about oil. Yeah, them numbers rack up. Only thing America does. Shit, I've admitted. I've lived my life, dealt with America's turmoil and shit. I'm a real one. At least I tried to. I'm not a gangster though. Okay, get that across. I'm a nerd. You know, I use my brains. I get ticklish and shit. Ain't no gangster, but I ain't no bitch. Anywho, America. For one thing, America thinks about America first. Yeah, we had our reasons, but when it comes to getting in and getting out and what we need, we about that, and we don't really give a shit about the rules. We're one of the most snoopiest countries in the world, shit like that. Other than that, I mean, our militia is dope. For anybody that's international looking at this, our militia is dope. I ain't gonna stunt. They will fuck some shit up. Not trying to start beef. No beef. Just from my standpoint, even though we can be some dicks that poke our noses in places we shouldn't, we might see something real juicy and nice and be like, man, that look good. I'm gonna have to take that. That's America. We gotta work on shit like that, but we got our own internal Civil War issue problems going on over here. We're not gonna get into that, but like I said, I'm not surprised. I just want to let people know, like, yeah, we fucked up. We won't say it out loud, but we'll basically show it. It's fucked up. Hope that doesn't ruin future relationships. Knowing that, it's like, come on, America. Stop fucking with people. But I'm pretty sure somebody's watching this that's a true patriot. Like I said, shout out to patriots. I do not have the balls to put my life on the line to do. I'm not a person. Look, I know that war is necessary because, you know, shit, if somebody brings something to your doorstep, you got to respond. If not, then people are going to continue thinking that you're weak and do God knows what to you. Shit, sometimes you got to strap and make sure to go in and get the point across. But I mean, when it comes to just war concept in general, from a social standpoint, I really don't like believe in war. It is necessary at times. All the time, eat shit, live and breathe in war constantly is not really good for your soul. Wrath is a sin. I just don't. I mean, I honestly, in my heart, even though I know rarely at times it will ever happen, if we just sit down, talk this out, and we're understanding of each other eye to eye, things would be different. Of course, things ain't gonna be like that. I'm an optimistic type of person. There's always a time and opportunity when things like that may occur. And you also got to be realistic enough to be ready for that kind of shit. People just only see one way. You can't, because then again, like I just said, if you don't want history to repeat itself, you got to change. But you got people that live by the rifle. Nothing against y'all. It's just, you know, when you go across seas and kill people that look like me, it's tough. Anyway, let's move on to the NY. Shout out to the NY. I got family out there. bring this up. So New York law was passed a couple days ago from today. Is to ban fired police officers. I know there's probably a lot more details or facts, key points into that law that I'm not quite addressing, but that's basically a law that they put into effect. And when I read it, it was kind of like I see it, but I'm just, it's kind of one of those topics that put you on the middle of two sides of a situation that what am I saying? I'm saying it's a double-edged sword kind of law thing. I mean, it's good in one end, but it can also do damaging in other ways. All right, let me set this up. Come on, computer. Computer tripping. Stop it. See what happened when you in the trap. Anyway, proposed New York law would ban fired police officers from getting hired. A law proposed in New York would ban the hiring of police officers who've previously been fired. The Wandering Officers Act would prohibit the appointment of a police officer who'd been fired in New York or elsewhere. Let's see. Assembly Bill A7284 also would ban the hiring of a police officer who resigned while being the subject of disciplinary action that could result in termination. What this bill basically says is any cop that has been fired either within states and within police jurisdiction or from a police jurisdiction out of state, you cannot be hired in New York State. New York State Senator Brian Benjamin, who is sponsoring the bill, told ABC New York station W.A.D. And this is ABC News. So, you heard it there. It's pretty clear. New York ain't trying to deal with no dumbass cops. So, positives outweigh the negatives, so I'll go in with the negatives. The thing is with this is that and this can correlate with a lot of genres. I feel like we as a society were very dismissive, and in some cases that's not always the case. Most of the time I see it when it's with rich people. They usually get the breaks, but we're not really too forgiving these days, and by that I mean a lot of these stories are similar, but then again you have some exceptions to where it's just like I don't know. And by that I mean you might have a police officer that might have just kind of like genuinely fucked up. Maybe it's not a situation where someone died. Maybe the practice didn't come off right. You ever seen some movies where a police officer goes out of line to what they feel is right, and maybe they denied a command, something like that, that can cost them their career, but more good was done. Just the only negative was the fact that he wasn't upholding what he was supposed to do as far as his pledge as being a cop and listening to his superiors. My point being is that you got people that might have been in a situation like that. It's kind of on the fence, and the system kind of just wasn't on their side. Maybe they were just the backburner of all the issue. The point is that we should do more programs for like redemption. Again, a lot of people are like, if we were to train these people better, which I also believe in, if we just educate people better, there's people out there that I've met that still haven't seen people like me that look like me in person. You know what I mean? So how the people like that going to respond to a situation in a demographic where there's nothing but people that look like me? you know? So you got scenarios like that. You got a lot of socially awkward ass motherfuckers out there that are so, and this goes for all sides as far as race, that don't know how to respond when they feel threateningly outnumbered or just in a situation. And not everybody sees, I'm not saying everybody's racist or not everybody is capable of seeing people that don't look like themselves as people and feel comfortable around them. My thing is that you got a lot of really sheltered, cornered, um, yes men kind of people that walked a certain line and it just kind of just happens for them naturally, face in situations like this where they never seen before. And in this case, it's demographics or people that don't necessarily look like them. And these are like grown ass people too. So like imagine you're like 35 or and 30, my age or whatever, never been in this situation. They put you out there and you're just like perplexed with a weapon and you don't know how to control or discipline your impulses in that manner. Sometimes the most experienced people that are good in these situations have been in these situations already, but you have some people that have been put in situations like this, being it their first time responding to a situation like that, and it just happens to be timing and wrong place at the wrong time, or just bad luck, and it costs you your job. If that makes sense, I hope so. But like I said, I've met people, like I said, I've never really, they've been really in a dense sphere. And when that sphere breaks out and they're exposed to other things, they just are like fish out of water. Positive thing is that weed out all the bullshit. I ain't gonna stunt. This act is a step in the right direction. If you haven't been in New York, I mean, I love New York in a manner that the diversity, it is like a jungle, different things. A lot of people hear stories about it and look at it like the boogeyman. Um, if you are about liking people and things like that, I mean, you will meet some of the most outstanding characters around. Once you've lived there, experienced there, been wrung in and out of that place, you were never the same. Also, with that said and done, New York is New York, and there is corruption, and there are people that are corrupt, get booted out, and still come back in like they were just like on probation, minor disciplinary action. So this can potentially keep all the piece of shit people out, and there's a lot of piece of shit people. Clear case and said and done. Some motherfuckers don't need a gun or don't need authority or power. This ain't Call of Duty. People. I've grew up with people that aspire to be a police officer, and I was worried because I'm just like you amped up like you about to go overseas. If you want to really do some real combat and shit like that, be a real person and go to enlist yourself and go over to combat. Put your hate and anger in the fucking people that supposedly do deserve it, instead of pointing your guns at U.S. citizens, because that's the big problem. It's one thing to deal with racism, but you're not looking at the big picture. You are a referee in this society, basically, with a gun. You're not a person that decides the life or death of people. It's what the court's for. You're supposed to be crowd control in a sense or manner, more or less. I have a lot of respectable police, so I do have respect for police, because doing the job is hard as shit. Because like a teacher, you have to play multiple roles as a cop. You got to be one, you got to be like a guidance counselor. You got to be a protector. You got to be a shoulder to cry on sometimes, a shield for damage and things like that. I mean, being a cop is tough and the stresses behind it is nuts, but there are characters that go into the game and they don't go into it for the right attitude. They go in and thinking that they're gonna be Batman. No. So yeah, keep those punks out. You heard? But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I know that's gonna change the game. So be ready when you look at that because I can see a lot of other states doing that. What's the next one? All right, this one's kind of a mood killer, but it is just kind of nuts. So let's bring up this guy. Kid, I should say, actually. Ooh, look at that acne. Anyway, this dude right here, why do I bring him up? So I don't know if anybody heard the story. I just want to bring it up because it's just wild and I'm going to elaborate on it because kids these days, sweet baby Jesus. Anyway, so if you haven't heard the story, there's a Florida girl, young girl that got stabbed 114 times. And I thought that that was just absolutely nuts. 114 times. Let me bring up this article. Yep, here we go. All right. You guys still see me? My buddy out there. All right. Let me take this ugly dude's face off. All right. So, teen accused of stabbing Florida girl 114 times to be tried as adult, which he should be. Florida, damn. All right, so it says, and this is article from wavy.com. A St. Johns County teen accused of stabbing and killing a 13-year-old classmate will face first-degree premeditated murder charges and will be tried as an adult, officials say. During a press conference Thursday afternoon, the 7th Judicial Circuit State Attorney R.J. Larissa announced the change in charges for 14-year-old, 14, Aiden Fossey in the death of Tristan Bailey. There's a quote. This is my job to make these decisions along with the executive team. And while we're sad and we certainly don't take no pleasure in it, this is our duty. And we looked at the facts, we looked at the law, and I got to tell you, and the circumstances of his offense, there was no other alternative. I mean, it's clear as day what he just did. Are there details of what he did? In addition to stabbing the 13-year-old girl, an arrest report from the sheriff's office stated admitted to engaging in an argument with Bailey in which he forcefully pushed her to the ground, striking her head. He did not admit to the stabbing. However, Larissa said Bailey was reported missing by her family on Mother's Day morning and was the subject of a statewide missing child alert. According to deputies, a resident who went out to help search for the girl found her body later that evening in the woods. Started out just a few kids getting together and hanging out, but it didn't end that way. All right. They still kind of it's like an ongoing kind of thing at the moment, so there's not a whole lot of details. Plus, it pretty much just say he really didn't admit to the stabbings and things like that, but he does admit to striking her. I do believe he had some kind of like hunting knife that was used, and they discovered her body at like some area in a park or something like that. I just thought it was really fucking sad. Also 114 times. Anybody with eyes can see if a person stabs another person that many times, it was really personal. Care what nobody say. That is a personal attack. my only thing is to say on this stuff is that I don't know what happened. I do feel like it's personal. Maybe, kids nowadays are sensitive. And I mean, kids are always sensitive. We got to be careful how we talk to them. But the way that they're exposed to a lot of different fucked up, nasty, yet creative, because you guys watch shows and random YouTube videos and things like that. And honestly, that's just a lot of that kind of crazy crap is just innovative ideas to put in the back of our brains to think of subconsciously in our hearts what if scenarios. And sometimes we act upon it, especially with kids. Kids reenact scenarios all the time. But my point being is that I do believe that this was personal. Um Shoot, man, maybe something didn't work out. She might have embarrassed him in a way that she probably didn't realize. Um, maybe take him off again. Maybe maybe he tried to shoot a shot, got denied hard, heart got crushed. This was his response. I don't know. Some kids even do this for like truth or dare, which is nuts. You'd be surprised. But I will be tuning to find out exactly why he did it. He's not admitting it, even though he admit to striking her. But then again, there can also be the scenario that someone else could be involved. That could be another reason. Maybe someone else is involved. I mean, there is a bunch of stabs. Be tired probably after 50 of those to even do to get that far. So maybe somebody else is involved. By saying that, he probably will admit to that person. That's another guess of mine. I think maybe someone else is involved. If not, then it's something really, really personal. And he acted out on it. And that's what happened. And on that note, we're going to do a quick break. Man, that's just really sad. Really, really sad. Sad to see kids do shit like that. But check out this little commercial and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Man, see, that's why you do breaks in your segments, because it just kind of helps you recap on stuff. Anyway, moving on. See this sign, Black Lives Matter. So disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Why are we talking about these guys? Because they basically got exposed for their bullshit. I mean, there was some wild stuff and accusations before, but this one's pretty much the casket opener. So, Black Lives Matter co-founder Prissy Coolers, I definitely think I butchered that. I'm just not in a reading mood right now. Resigns amid controversy. All right, so the embattled co-founder of Black Lives Matter announced on Thursday that she's resigning as executive director amid criticism over her lavish lifestyle. Who would have guessed, right? Prissy, I can't read names today. 37 has been at the helm of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation for nearly 6 years. Says she is leaving to focus on a book and TV deal. Oh, that's a great sidestep. Her last day with the foundation is Friday. I've created the infrastructure and the support and the necessary bones and foundation so that I can leave. Cooler said it feels like the time is right. But a resignation comes amid controversy over the group's finances and Cooler's personal wealth, including an alleged real estate buying spree in which she snagged 4 high-end homes for $3.2 million in the U.S., according to property records reported last month. But Cooler said Colors, I think it's Colors, said her departure has been in the works and is not tied to those attacks. Right. Those are right wing attacks that try to discredit my character, and I don't operate off of what the right thinks about me. Black Lives Matter Foundation revealed the February it took in just over 90 million last year, following the May 2020 murder of George Floyd. Damn, that's a lot of money. Black man whose last breaths under the knee of white Minneapolis police officer inspired protests globally. The foundation said it ended 2020 with a balance of more than 60 million after spending nearly a quarter of its assets on operating expenses, grants to what does that say? Black organizations and other charitable giving. Cool, nice. All right. Interesting. Not surprised by this. Oh shit, I didn't even have that up. And I'm still flowing, guys. Trying to get the flow right. Anyway, as you can see, that's what it says on what? This is the NY Post. Let me get that right for you guys. So, what I gotta say about this? Who asked me, right? All I can really say is that when this organization first dropped, I will admit, I knew that it was gonna hit the wall, but to some degree, I did like the idea behind it. I will admit that. I feel like everybody nowadays are so hurt by wordplay and even the smallest little things like bully, shit like that. You got stuff like that going on, but we got a lot of injustices and other ways happening. So, I mean, I knew just by the name of it, it was already going to be controversial, hurtful. A lot of people were going to be sensitive about it, sad, disappointed, whatever. Me personally, especially if you want to get an idea to get the attention for injustices or just anything that's just wrong that you're passionate about, you gotta scream, make it loud and clear, make everybody turn them heads towards you. Definitely believe that. Just saying Black Lives Matter at one point, I mean, I felt that it was more like it was a passive aggressive way of putting a community in the front that's been completely tired being in the back end of things, which I could totally relate to and understand. No, I'm light skinned, but yeah. But I also believe that sometimes you got hurt feelings to get past some walls and things like that. So I was just like, when people were like talking about justice of it being fueled by, rich white people, which in my opinion, these things that go on the networks that you see on TV and everything, chances are a rich white dude is funding that. So get real. So that was an excuse. But yeah, that's what I thought at some point. But as time progressed on, you can tell people that are in it for the money. Also, Black Lives Matter. I'm not saying George Floyd isn't a substantial issue at hand, but there are a handful of other cases, I won't get into them, that's going on right now that involve Black people. In fact, Black people in the industry and other really messed up and corrupt things that are happening to people that aren't like black people that aren't influential. You know, if it's about money or followers, some of these individuals, and a lot of you probably have some ideas, they can pay their way on that too. But they refuse to even acknowledge some of these guys. And they've admitted like they've tried messaging, they show the DMs and everything. And I don't know if they have their own type of discrimination, but they're not taking some of these stories. And I'm like, I don't get it because from an exposure, money, in the community kind of standpoint, some of those stories out there, like I said, I'm not going to get into them now, they will fill all those voids. So what's the problem? You know, you make yourself out there, give the people impression that you're there for them, but you've been turning a lot of people away. I'm not here to just bash them because, like I said, I wasn't like a firmly because a lot of causes and trends, especially in Hollywood, I don't believe this shit. There's always two sides to every story, but it's sad. Just like any other hustle, needs some hustlers too. That and I mean, it's clear that they're in for the profit and on themselves. That's just how I feel. May not always be the case. Who knows? It could be a different side of the story. Whatever, change in leadership could happen. But from what I've seen, and also a lot of practicing of witchcraft and a lot of other crazy violence related insensitive shit that they've also been a part of and refuse to acknowledge or ignore. Yeah, they kind of fucking up. I used to tell a lot of people especially when it comes to black movements, I mean, they used to call the civil rights movement a terrorist group, whether you want to believe in that or not. So I mean, in back of my heart, any black group up and coming is always going to get a bad stigma. But the shoe fits, I ain't going to deny it. And that's another thing with people. If something that you love so much are fucking up, and it's clear as day that they're fucking up, and if they ever took a good look at you and wouldn't give a shit, let's be real. They're not good people to have to follow. And then there's nothing wrong with that. Piece of shit people come in all colors, shapes, sizes, and ages, okay? But yeah. Another capitalizing nature. 2, another scam to bank off black people suffering. That's all it is. Another scam to bank off black people suffering. Unbelievable. Man, my connection's bad. I gotta work on that. Don't worry, guys. If you love me, you'll still watch it anyway. I just don't understand what's wrong with calling things out for what it is. If it ain't working, it ain't working. I'm just wondering who they really serve. It ain't God, I'll tell you that. All right. Next topic. We're gonna talk about Amazon. What up, Amazon? I ain't gonna stunt. I love Amazon. What do I love about Amazon? Because you can find essentially anything. I'm a type of dude that's gotta have gadgets and little knickknacks and I like to be organized. You know, sometimes I need I'm one of those people that just need a specific thing, specific texture, specific whatever. And Amazon, it just fulfills that role for me. It just does. But Amazon is being sued by the US government. And I will read that for you. All right. Ooh, come on, technology. Don't mess with me. Amazon was sued or is being sued by the US government for the first time. DC alleges that the world's largest online marketplace is engaging in unfair practices with third-party sellers. Who'd have guessed? This is another Business Insider article. And let's see. The Attorney General for Washington, D.C. thinks so. Hold on, let's get a clear analysis. Amazon's restrictive agreements with third-party sellers limit their ability to sell products for less on other e-commerce sites, artificially inflating prices and reducing competition. Until 2019, the suit said Amazon flat out barred sellers on its marketplace from offering their items for cheaper elsewhere. Damn, that's some dickhead shit. When lawmakers started snooping around, Amazon threw out that rule and then ended up replacing it with a clone. Nice. Racine said if sellers try to list products on other sites for a lower cost, Amazon will bury them on its site. Classic. That's nice. That's what we got screenshotting for. In a statement, Amazon said, has it exactly wait, in the statement Amazon said, Racine, again, people don't proofread, the company says has it exactly backwards. Sellers set their own prices for the products they offer in our store, and added it added and like any store we reserve the right to highlight offers to customers that are not priced competitively. Man, I'm a writer, man, and some of these fucking article people blow. It's like, this is restructure your sentences better. Why it's a big deal? If we're being honest, the lawsuit itself isn't a huge deal. It was filed in DC, not in federal court, and Racine didn't invite other AGs to the party, as is common in these types of cases. So overall, the lawsuit doesn't have a lot of teeth. Oh, how convenient. Long story short, just like a lot of other big corporations in different genres, Amazon is just doing it when it comes to e-commerce. And basically, what it says is that Amazon gets these third-party sellers. They probably have them in some kind of contracted deal, but ideally, if you and I'm trying to get in the game too. If you sell something on one platform, you're definitely going to want to sell it on other platforms to get more money, right? Especially on your site. And Amazon's saying, no, once you sign with us, you only sell through us and we decide your rates. What? Thought you guys were supposed to be like a platform, not a dictatorship of exactly how e-commerce works on your platform. And when they're called out, because apparently they had policies that basically state that if you are a third party person selling through Amazon, they had it posted, and when they were called out by lawyers and the other officials, they dropped it down and just acted like it wasn't even there. Classic. And then the best part about this whole entire story is that you take it to court and they don't even think that this is a substantial enough or a big enough case to not only address, but I mean, a case like this should be in the Supreme Court, right? Immediately. And it's not even going to even make it that far. And the fact that DC is doing it and they still are like, meh, what does that tell you? So, I mean, this shakeup could really damage the image of Amazon as far as companies wanting to work with them. There's a clear indication that if you are rich and you have lots of money and you do get in trouble, you won't really be in trouble because you can just buy your way out of trouble, right? Clear indication of that, and you have like the US government doing it. So this is literally a clear representation of how corporate America, multi-million dollar corporations are demonstrating how much power they have over the US government or just governments in general. If you guys don't see that with this, you guys are blind. But yeah, it's a clear indication, and that is nuts. Um, but I mean, it does kind of hurt a lot of it might hurt their image as far as how if you want to work with Amazon, sell your stuff through them. Not only that, you gotta, I mean, imagine if you have your own company, want to sell your stuff through Amazon, you have your own fixed rates and everything like that. You try to sell on Amazon, they tell you no, um, we're gonna change your rates from what you're usually used to having. And we're going to put it in a way where it's going to be less for you and more interest and commission for us. So you got to deal with that. Cool. If you don't like it, you just go somewhere else, right? Wrong. Amazon's telling you that not only do you have to sell through us through our rates, but you can't sell anywhere else and sell them for, if not your usual profit or more, to compensate or make up for your loss with being with Amazon. So it's a lose-lose situation. So it's just another company being very absolute about their stuff. There are other companies that are known to be very what's the word? They had a word for it, but basically are saying that they run this industry. Apple, even though I love you guys too, but yeah, these big companies are doing that. They like walking around like they got big testicles, swinging them around in people's faces, and then when people want to do their own thing and they feel that they own you, they put their balls on your face. And it's fucked up. But I thought that this was actually very downplayed topic, and this isn't the first time we've seen stuff like this. Google, Facebook, all these big corporations, I feel like when they're in court, they're just tap dancing for the show, the masses. That's all. Make us feel like they can be attacked. I mean, it's good to see that they're not, they can't escape justice to some degree, if you want to believe in that. But I mean, I think that's just all entertainment for us. Just my opinion. They already got it in the bag. They probably filmed it. That's what I think. What is this world going to come to? I will admit, Amazon, why your price is going up? I started with Amazon because not only can I not find certain things anywhere else at my convenience, but prices for stuff was reasonable. Amazon's been going up. Not digging that, Amazon. Don't make me not love you, Amazon. Next is Facebook. Facebook, the very infamous right now. Facebook, they have a very interesting article that I read. Facebook, they recently lifted their ban on posts claiming that COVID-19 was man-made. Don't believe me? I will, of course, read the source for this article. But I thought that was interesting because, well, let me read it first. So Facebook lists ban on posts claiming COVID-19 was man-made. This is from The Guardian. And I got so many ads. Social network says policy comes in light of ongoing investigations into the origins of virus. Facebook has lifted a ban on posts claiming COVID-19 was man-made following a resurgence of interest in the lab leak theory of the disease's onset. The social network says its new policy comes in light of ongoing investigations into the origin. In February, Facebook explicitly banned the claim as part of a broad policy update aimed at removing more false claims about COVID-19 and vaccines. In a public statement at the time, it said, following consultations with leading health organizations, including the World Health Organization, we are expanding the list of false claims we will remove to include additional debunked claims about the coronavirus and vaccines. Why reading this out loud? It sounds like a very contradicting statement. So you believe in the possibility now, but before you didn't believe in the possibility of it, but then believing in the possibility of that was false, even though you had no clue on the possibility of it existing or being a real statement or not. Okay. Anyone posting claims that COVID-19 was man-made or manufactured could have seen their posts removed or restricted, and repeatedly sharing the allegation could have led to ban from the site entirely. Yeah, I got a handful of Facebook friends that had that happen to them. And Wednesday, the company said, in light of ongoing investigations into the origin of COVID-19 and in consultation with public health experts, we will no longer remove the claim that COVID-19 is man-made from our apps. And the rest is all just booty crap. But anyway, you heard it, folks. If you've been claiming that it was man-made on Facebook, you have been victimized of being dicked. Sorry for, I could be crude with the language sometimes. But my point being is that what kind of game are these people playing? I don't know. For Facebook to be coming under fire, you guys have a really, really, really silly way of trying to cover your tracks on whatever it is that you're trying to hide. This is why people like me with their conspiracies and thoughts start believing in them, because you guys just keep, again, walking along the fence, going back and forth. And this is a clear indication of trying to appease people on a constant. That's why on this platform, I'm trying to help people, but I can't please everybody. I'm not gonna act like it. So yeah, just like I said, I mean, before you guys were fighting over an idea that you were unsure of. And on a platform where you claim that you can say what you want, in reality, you can't. What's the aim? What agenda are you trying to push? It's pretty obvious that you're trying to make people think a certain way, believe a certain way. I don't know. It's silly. It's stupid. Let people express the way they want. But my thing is that what's going on with freedom of speech? Because I thought the law decided our freedom of speech, not these corporations. And this is a clear indication of them trying to decide what type of speech is okay and what isn't. But here's the thing, stuff is being leaked, and it's clear that the owners and the powers that be either let something slip, fucked up somewhere, or they can't handle outrage, or they can't contain enough. But I don't know, if you guys are trying to hide something, you guys are doing an ass backwards job of trying to contain it. And by doing this, it makes people believe that it might be. I don't know. But I have seen some indications of me leaning towards the possibility. But whether you believe it or not, I mean, these corporations don't decide how you should think. If a moron wants to be a moron, then let him put his foot in his mouth and ruin his own life. I'm not going to go there and just ridicule the idiot and wasting my energy and time. But Facebook, they waste their time and energy because they got to please some people, but whatever. The only people on Facebook are like people my age and older. And I'm already tired of it. Trying to get on Instagram better. But let's not forget Facebook bought Instagram. So whatever happens to Facebook, which I mean, shit, it can crash like MySpace. They'll have Instagram to fall back on. So my thing is just like whatever. It's like a whatever situation, but I just want to show a clear indication on how like we see you. We see you. See what you're doing. I don't know. But my thing is with the powers that be, not lower class, not all lower class people are stupid. Like we do catch on to details and stuff. We're not all amateurs, no matter how much you want us to believe that we are. And now for the final topic. Of course, I throw one celebrity in. This guy, Dr. Huxtable, Bill Cosby. Um, so he kind of started trending a little bit again. I wasn't gonna really care much about it, but my thing is with him. If you're in a situation where you can't win or can't get out of, I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm not saying you have to believe into whatever lies that you claim people are put on you. But when the forces are against you, sometimes you got to kind of roll with the punches, especially if they're not really too bad. But then again, I mean, there's two sides to every story. A lot of people believe that this was like a setup to him just to destroy his name. Um, I mean, me, I try to be open minded. I mean, he gets, and this goes for a lot of black celebrities. First off, let me make it clear. Um, Anything as far as sexual destruction of women or anybody in any kind of way is terrible. So if there is truth to this stuff, I'm sorry that this had to happen to you. It shouldn't have happened to you, and it shouldn't happen to have to happen to people. But like I said, it's two sides to every story. I try to be optimistic, especially on stuff where I don't see where the evidence isn't right in front of me. Also, Hollywood is a motherfucker too. Anyway, this is CBS News. Bill Cosby denied parole. Actor Bill Cosby won't be paroled this year after refusing to participate in sex offender programs during his nearly 3 years in state prison in Pennsylvania. The 83-year-old Cosby has long said he would resist the treatment programs and refuse to acknowledge wrongdoing, even if it means serving the full 10-year sentence. This is the first year he was eligible for parole under the 3 to 10-year sentence handed down after his 2018 conviction. You get the idea. Only thing I want to say is, like, dude, you're in prison. Um, if it's just like a little class thing, I mean, you're in prison. There's really a whole lot else that you got to do. You don't have to go in there and speak on behalf of saying that you are innocent or guilty in there, but just sit in there just to say you did it. I know you don't want to be in there. They already gave you your conviction. Whether you're innocent or not, like, just look in the reality of what's around you. If I was there, actually, I wouldn't know what I would do if I was in a situation like that. But then again, I try to be as respectful to people as possible on behalf of not touching them. I don't get why what's up with touching. Keep your hands off each other. My thing is that don't make it harder for you than it needs to be. But why? Especially if I'm trying to get out, and if they told you that was the only thing you needed to do, what's a waste of time? I know it's kind of a silly way to end this, but I just wanted to kind of throw something a little bit different to end this episode with. But yeah, I was just hoping, I don't know. Nothing makes sense these days, man. All I know is that don't believe in everything that you hear or see. Question. I want you guys to question these things. That's why I bring them to you. Because, man, there's got to be other people out there that look at something, look at these articles, and just be like, I don't know about that, you know? But yeah, that's all. That's what I do is also promote, you know. But I'm gonna give you guys a nice little break commercial, and then we'll be right back.
And next to me on my other side, David Martinez.
Good evening.
FussAid. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Welcome to the podcast.
Man, we've got a home at FussAid.com. This is the creator, the founder of FussAid. How did FussAid come about?
Illinois State, where I used to go to school at. Used to hang out with a lot of nerds. Used to show me things like 4chan, other forms like World Star, and I'm thinking like, hey, you know, the audience is cool. They might accumulate like 100,000, but what if you were to take all those dynamics and put them in one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, a year later, next thing you know, this Frankenstein was thought of and it was put together and it turned into this monstrous but very lovable site called FussAid.com. All right, we're back. So, in conclusion to this long rant, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, you guys can find me. In fact, find me. I'm on Instagram. You can see on the bottom right there scrolling, but you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. Just I'm just trying to build a following, just like everybody else. Just trying to reach people, touch the hearts of many. So, trying to get better in these things. Maybe I'll tell you more next time exactly why I fell or the reason why I fell into this stuff. But anyway, check me out on social media. Small now. I multitask a lot of things, but man, give a man a chance. Maybe that's asking too much. Also, remember that this is sponsored by FussAid. So, with that said and done, you can go to FussAid. Comment on all the posts, guys. That's why it's there. It's anonymous. Don't be afraid. No one's gonna be ridiculed. I just want your thoughts. It's that data that helps things make things better. But also on there, you can donate. So if you like what I do, want me to do better, you want to help me get out of the trap, because I'm in the trap. Trapping out here. When I get done, I might have to go do some stuff. Just kidding. Not maybe. But anyway, if you like what I do, you can go donate. I'm not asking really anything at all, but if you feel, I ain't gonna say no. I like presents. But yeah, you can make your own price. You can do it from a couple dollars to just $1. But all those proceeds will go into like more equipment. I need to get better lighting. But other than that, I mean, just to build a platform better and make it more so people can come, because I want this to be something to help people. I'm tired of all this dry shit out there. But anyway, you can donate. And also on social media through FussAid, because FussAid is like a highway. Let us know what we can do to get better. If you want to work with me or anything like that, you can message me through that too. We'll respond. Like I said, I'll be multitasking, so I try to respond as fast as I can. You can also, if you want to work with me or do some kind of business, just show me what you're doing. Show me that you're serious. Message me. Let me know. Whatever. But also let me know how I can give you a better experience. It's the most important thing. Other than that, I think that's an episode. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Like, follow, everything you can think of. Check out FussAid.com. It's a new place to be, a new platform that just kind of goes against the program of your usual, if that makes sense. You all have a good night, and I will catch you next time.